Hey everyone, it's me, Trina. I am officially your Wednesday person, but I just did Monday last week. So to start off, I'm gonna add some more, my input into the question that's on the channel page. The question says, I am a girl aged 16 in a relationship with a girl. I have come out as bisexual to everyone, including my parents. Only I think I could be a lesbian. I have dated guys in the past. I just wondered if you had any advice on how I can decide. For one, you don't have to decide. There is no deciding about it. Congrats for being out to your parents at such a young age. I hope it went well for you. I never really came out, so I was kind of whatever. But anyway, what I wanted to say is that to talk about sexuality, I mean, it's no big deal, really, and the labels are kind of black and white, I think. Like, at one end, you're straight, at the other end, you're a lesbian. In the middle, you're bisexual, but people seem to think that by saying bisexual means that you are equally attracted to men and women. There's kind of no in between, except right smack bang in the middle. So I like to think of sexuality as, like, over here, you're attracted to the opposite sex, and over here, you're attracted to the same sex. And you can be anywhere on this continuum. Some days, you might be over here. Some days, you might be over here. Some days, you might be in the middle, or over here, or over here. Like, it doesn't really matter. That's how I go. I have straight days, and I have gay days, and I have days where all I want to do is be with a girl, and days where really I just want to sleep with guys. And I am more attracted to women than I am to men, but at the same time, I am still attracted to men. And I think the heart wants what the heart wants. You can't tell it that it only wants one thing. Like, I know quite a few people who have come out, as gay, and then all of a sudden they fall in love with someone of the opposite sex. And people seem to think that's some big bad thing, like, oh my god, you were lying. But it's not. It doesn't really matter. There's no point really labeling yourself, because you could change. I mean, you might find someone who you just click with and who makes you feel so happy. And honestly, it doesn't matter if they have a penis or a vagina or whatever. It doesn't matter if they're a boy or a girl or outside of the gender binary, or it just doesn't matter. As long as they make you happy. I mean, like I said, there's no deciding about it. Play it by ear and see who you're interested in. I think that's it. I talked a lot about that. Now I suppose I should talk about relationships, because that was the message that Jess got. Best and worst. I've had 2 serious relationships. One that just ended like 3 weeks ago, so I'm not really sure I was going to be able to talk about this. I kind of just thought about skipping it altogether. But I suppose I'll give it a go. I've also had quite a few little flings. That was my first relationship. Both my relationships were with boys. Never dated a girl. I definitely would. I just don't feel like dating right now. But I definitely would, and I hope to. I've had kind of semi-relationships with girls. I'm not going to divide my 2 relationships into best and worst. They both had good parts, they both had bad parts, and I just don't want to make that distinction. My first relationship was with a boy I was at school with, and we were together for 5 years. It was definitely a bit dragged out. I don't think it should have lasted as long as it did. The thing that I liked about that relationship, the best thing about that relationship, was that he turned a blind eye. I could sleep with girls, I could spend time with girls. He knew, and he didn't really like it, but he put up with it. I let him sleep around too. Like, okay, I didn't go, okay, I want this, but you can't have it, because that's not what poly is about. I'm not really sure he embraced my relationship ideals, because back then I didn't really know what they were. I just knew that I wanted boys and girls at the same time. And I don't think he was okay with it, but I think he loved me enough to deal with it. He didn't want to lose me, at least not up until the end, anyway. We broke up because he was sleeping with this girl that I didn't like, and his parents were really rude, and they were all Christian, and they hated me because I was bisexual, and and it was just a whole heap of shit. I had a couple of flings with girls, a couple of serious ones. My worst, I suppose I can say this is like my worst relationship, was with a girl named Natalie, who I met on the internet. She came down, because she lived in Queensland. She came down, and all hell kind of broke loose. My then boyfriend's parents found out that we were planning to sleep together. And I broke up with my then boyfriend. We got back together after, and they kicked me out of their house, and it was a mess. And I suppose that was my worst one, because in the end she came down to visit me, but she ended up sleeping with most of my friends. I remember the low point was kind of going out drinking with her, and we were drunk pretty early. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and I was sitting on the steps in front of the pub in the rain crying because she decided she was going to go home with this other boy that she'd met the weekend before. So I suppose that would be my worst. It wasn't even a real relationship. I mean, we slept together once, and we hardly talked the whole time she was here. I had a casual sex fling with a girl named Alicia, and that was pretty cool, except it caused a lot of problems with my then boyfriend, because it was at the stage he was still kind of getting used to it. I had a fling with a girl in high school. I'm not going to name her, but we are still friends. And she's pregnant now, and she's got a boyfriend, and it makes me a bit sad. But yeah, I was kind of hoping, but no. My relationship that just ended was mostly good. We had our issues. We fought a lot towards the end, but I mean, we both had issues. It wasn't working. I was too broken, he was too broken. He didn't like that I wanted girls. That's ultimately kind of why he left me, except now he's making out that it was some kind of favour that he did, and it wasn't at all. Had another kind of, it wasn't really a fling, but it was complicated, with another girl, and I've just started talking to her again, and I'm not really sure it's a good idea, but I'm lonely. And it was messy, because I don't even want to go into it. It was just messy. And I think all this sounds like I've had a lot more bad things than good things, but that's not true, because I was with David for 2.5 years, and we had a lot of good times. And I was with my high school boyfriend for 5 years, and it was nice at times too. Like, every relationship has good and bad parts, and I think unless a relationship is really exceptionally bad, then you can't ever really describe it as your worst, and I am not going to make that leap. Except the one with Natalie, because that was just a mess. I think I was a bit young, and she was young, and we were all young, and parents suck. Well, not mine, but his did. I think that's another topic we should talk about, Jess. Religion and sexuality and our experiences with that, because I could rant on about that forever. Anyway, I think my video is long enough now, and I really wanted to talk about some more poly stuff, but nobody's asked any questions, and I really don't know where to start, because it's such a big thing. And I thought there would be questions, because really it's still taboo, and no one talks about it, and nobody knows anything about it, but maybe next week. Sorry I ranted on so much. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave some questions. Bye, see you next week.